Hello, white people. The Dow Jones today. 5 stocks stole the show and rose more than 5%. Led by Apple and Walmart, several Dow stocks posted gains of 4% or more to start the week. Headlines out today confirm that the number of deaths caused by the coronavirus from China in the U.S. has vaulted to 6, but market participants appear comfortable wagering that the world's marquee central banks, namely the Federal Reserve and People's Bank of China, PBOC, will work together to launch coordinated policy responses should the virus continue hindering the global economy. Following last week's rout, one that saw the S&P 500 notch a double-digit loss, investors appeared to buying the dip today, even as the Organization for Economic Cooperation Development, OECD, global growth this year will sink to its lowest level in over a decade. Adding to these concerns, the Institute for Supply Management, ISM, said Monday its factory index for February fell to 50.1 from 50.9 in January. The good news is readings above 50 are considered positive, but ISM acknowledged the February reading was a weak level. Yes, there are clearly a growing number of data points that point to contraction for the global economy over the current quarter and perhaps second and third quarters, but investors were undaunted today as 26 of 30 Dow stocks were higher in late trading. Apple dip buyers emerge. Apple is likely one of the prime candidates for dip buying and bullish price target revisions by analysts following the stock's recent retrenchment. Apple stock did indeed get some love today as Oppenheimer analyst Andrew Uerkwitz, probably a Berg, upgraded the iPhone maker to outperform from perform while lifting his price target to $320. That implies upside of about 10% from where Apple stock closed today. Apple has mastered the art to turn technology into deeply personal and indispensable everyday objects from iPhones to watch to AirPods. We believe Apple products and services will prove more resilient than competitive products in uncertain times, said Uerkwitz and note to clients. Wow, Walmart. Walmart was keeping pace with Apple as one of the Dow's best performers today, a pleasant surprise after defensive stocks failed investors last week. On light news today but heavy volume, Walmart's Monday ebullience appears to be tied to shoppers stocking up on necessities such as bottled water, household cleaning items, hand sanitizer, and soap in preparation for the coronavirus spreading across the U.S. There is something to that notion regarding Walmart because rivals Costco and Target also surged today. Verizon vindication. Verizon is another example of a defensive name that didn't live up to that reputation last week, but the stock rebound today after Cowen and Company upgraded it outperform from market perform. That positioned Verizon shares for their best intraday performance since mid-2017. There's also a Walmart tie-in as the two companies are reportedly in talks for the retailer to have Verizon install 5G antennas at Walmart locations across the U.S. After ranking as one of the worst Dow offenders last Friday, Boeing rebounded today amid reports it's on a hiring spree in an effort to get the 737 MAX plane airborne again by the middle of this year. Once Boeing starts to emerge from the MAX crisis, it will need the extra employees to mount a commercial comeback for the plane, both in the factory and in the parking lots where the company and airlines have stored about 800 aircraft, according to Bloomberg. Merck the Magnificent. Merck was in the upper tier of Dow stocks today after the company said it will present new data on its HIV treatments at the conference on retroviruses and opportunistic infections next week. Merck's commitment to HIV spans exploratory research to phase 3 trials and is fueled by our goal to develop meaningful scientific innovations that someday may help people living with HIV, said George Hanna, Vice President and Therapeutic Area Head of Infectious Diseases, Global Clinical Development, Merck Research Laboratories, in a statement. Bottom line on the Dow Jones today. Tomorrow is Super Tuesday, meaning the Democratic, not Democrat because they're not Democrats anymore, field of presidential hopefuls, one that has already been parsed in recent days, could see further pairing come Tuesday night or Wednesday morning. I mention this because United Health Group was also among the best performing Dow stocks today, perhaps an indication that former Vice President Joe Biden's resurgence bodes ill for Medicare for All champions Senator Bernie Sanders. Alrighty, so in reality, the stock market does not really tell us what is going on in the economy. The way we figure that out is we have to get out of our houses and we have to go drive around and visit these businesses. We have to look at their shelves, what is on their shelves and what is moving. What are things that are selling, and things that are not selling, especially luxury items, that is an indication that people are broke and people are unwilling to spend. A lot of people are living on credit. A lot of people are maxed out and they're paying their minimum payments. They don't have any more credit, so they're just automatically going to stop buying, and they're automatically going to start, if they can, they're going to start downsizing, getting something smaller because they can't afford their lifestyle anymore. A lot of jobs are disappearing because the money is disappearing, and when Trump slows down immigration, you're going to see a lot of costs go down because all of a sudden we will have more supply than demand. If Trump shuts the borders down, I don't know if people are going to be able to leave. I would hope so. I would hope people would want to leave that don't belong here in the first place. They need to go back to their own country, but I'm getting off topic here. Anyway, so the segment of our society that relies on new bodies has been falsely propped up. And when these new bodies stop coming in and they don't need housing, they don't need food, they don't need energy, that kind of thing, that part of our economy that relies on new bodies will be absolutely decimated. On the upside, though, our costs are going to go down for a while until we run out of those extra supplies, and then everything's going to shoot up and we're going to have inflation like we've never seen before. Alrighty now, so let's shift gears. If you are somebody who has not been caught up in all of this debt nonsense and you have extra money, get ready. A lot of assets are going to be on sale and they are going to go down fast. People are going to be desperate. You're going to be able to buy silver at a premium. You're going to be able to buy real estate, vehicles, all kinds of things because people are out of money. A lot of people are out of money. And then something else I wanted to talk about is when all of these supply lines are cut and we are going to rely on what is produced in this country, we may be in for a big surprise because a lot of stuff is made overseas. And don't stress about that because something, things like refrigeration and indoor plumbing and all that stuff, I love it. I really love it. But mainstream America hasn't had it for that long. We still have a generation that grew up that had an outhouse. They didn't have indoor plumbing. There were people that didn't have refrigeration. And so, no, I think it's time to go back to those people and ask them how they survived. And it's okay if we have to go back to that. If we don't have the internet, we don't have telephones, we don't have electricity, we don't have refrigeration. I mean, that's going to be rough. I like my heating pad. My heating pad is by far one of my most favorite inventions known to mankind. And besides going back to living a more simple lifestyle, what it's going to do is it's going to drive out people that are here for the luxuries that we have in our country. And that's going to be a really good thing. And then people are going to stop being narcissistic because you can't survive as a narcissist. Alrighty, white people, that's the damage for today. Thank you so much for listening. I look forward to your comments below.